Catley. Number 8, forward, Sarah Hagan. Number 9, forward, Josie Belanger. Number 10, forward, Leanne Sanderson. Number 18, defender, Maddie Evans. Number 21, defender, Monica Hickman-Alvis. Number 23, forward, Jasmine Spencer. And number 26, defender, Samantha Whitman. The Orlando Pride is coached by Tom Sermani. Now, ladies and gentlemen, it's time to introduce today's starting lineup for your FC Kansas City. In goal, team captain, number 18, Nicole Barnett. Number 2, forward, Shay Groom. Number 3, midfielder, Desiree Scott. Number 5, defender, Alex Arlett. Number 7, forward, Mandy Laddish. Number 10, defender, Yael Averbush. Number 13, defender, Brittany Taylor. Number 15, midfielder, Erica Timrack. Number 20, forward, Tiffany McCarty. Number 21, defender, Katie Bowen. And number 88, midfielder, Alexa Newfield. Head coach of FC Kansas City is Vlatko Andonovski. Ladies and gentlemen, FC Kansas City. Ladies and gentlemen, at this time we ask you please rise and direct your attention to the American flag at the northwest corner of the field. And join us in paying respect to the Stars and Stripes as Candace Kircher sings our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched, where so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the
After a stormy week in Kansas City, the weather is perfect for soccer as FC Kansas City looked for win number 1 in game number 7, playing the Orlando Pride for the very first time. And welcome to Swope Soccer Village in Kansas City, Missouri. I'm Dave Stewart on a beautiful night here after what's been kind of a crazy week weather-wise, but the conditions could not be better. Of course, if you follow the Pride, you understand some of the travel issues they had a week ago getting to Houston, delayed by about 4 hours initially. Couldn't head to Houston because of bad weather there. Then they couldn't get out of Orlando because of issues there, but able to backdoor into Kansas City International Airport on Friday and get ready for soccer tonight. It's a red-hot Pride team, an expansion team, the 10th to join this league. No team has more wins in the NWSL than the Pride with 4. They sit at 4-2, just a point behind the co-leaders, Washington and Chicago. Let's start with the players who will not be here. A couple away for the national team for Orlando, Alex Morgan and the goalkeeper, Ashlyn Harris. Laura Alloway still has a groin condition that will keep her from playing tonight. Cammie Levin, appendicitis. Her time away is extended. Kristen Edmonds, who had the game-winning goal at Houston a week ago Friday, ended up with a hip pointer in the final minute, 89th minute, right before stoppage time. She is here, but in jeans and tennis shoes will not be available tonight. For FC Kansas City, a couple of national team players away, Becky Sauerbrunn and Heather O'Reilly, as they try to find the right combination. That means starting 3 draft picks. 3 rookies are in the lineup for Vlatko Andonovski tonight. Katie Bowen from North Carolina, who was not able to get here early as she finished her work down at North Carolina. She'll start at left back, her natural position with the New Zealand national team. Alex Arlett, another one of the rookies with tremendous fitness, slowed a little bit by a hamstring issue in the preseason. She'll start at right back. And Alexa Newfield, no problem putting her in Lauren Cheney's spot, the number 10, that underneath midfield position, setting up the striker, Shea Groom. So as we look at the starting lineup for Orlando, one of the big notes is Aubrey Bledsoe, who will play for the first time for Orlando. She played 1 game in 2015 for Sky Blue. We'll talk about her story as the night goes on. Catley, Whitteman, Presley, and Monica defending. Belanger, Hagan, Spencer, Maddie Evans, players that threatened to put the ball in the back of the net for Orlando, with Leanne Sanderson, the dangerous creative midfielder, making things happen for the Pride. A little bit surprised that Kyle will not start for the first time after having done so for the first 6 games of the season. Edwards will be the captain for Orlando. For FC Kansas City, Barnhart in goal as expected. Bowen, Averbush, and Taylor, the 2 center backs, with Arlett at right back. At holding midfield spot, occupied by Scott and Laddish. Mandy moving back a bit, kind of a more natural position for her underneath Newfield. Erica Timrack will be on the wing left side. Tiffany McCarty getting her first start for FC Casey on the right. And up top is Shea Groom as Kansas City tries to get a goal, get a couple of goals. They've only been able to do that twice this year, and Averbush did one of those on a penalty kick. We are underway as the Orlando team will send it down the left side, trying to find Apple, Sarah Hagan, who had a couple of championships here, tied up with Brittany Taylor, back in a more natural spot for her. She was a center back the last 3 years, and a whistle will lead to a throw by Steph Catley, one of the best left backs in the world. Looks for help. Jasmine Spencer back to Catley. Spencer. And nice work there by the rookie Arlett, who will send it down, and that ball kicked out. High kick by Tony Presley, a powerful player for Orlando. 5'10" from Florida State, getting her first start against Houston, so she earned another starting assignment here for Tom Sermani's team. Of course, one of the great names coaching in women's soccer with the Australian Nationals, the Americans, Canadian assistant last year at World Cup. Good counter, break, but Orlando able to get in the middle of that. That's Monica. And the ball will roll through. Shea Groom not able to do anything with that. Groom is really the best weapon up top for FCKC at this point, and she did miss 1 game early in the season after getting a red card. She plays very aggressive soccer. And that's kind of the mentality of this team. Vlatko Andonovski had a team meeting, which is typical, the game day morning, and he's really excited about his team's energy and enthusiasm and how hard they've worked. Not happy about being 0-4-2, but he likes the way they've been able to get after it. FCKC in the white will give it away. The ball sent down the field. Hagan there, bracketed. Averbush will send it back to the keeper, Nicole Barnhart, who's giving up a goal a game and leads the NWSL with 25 saves this year. She's had so many crucial saves this year because goals have been so hard to come by. It's been important for her to keep that score down when possible. Shea Groom has a spot out front. Bledsoe comes forward to challenge, and a good clearance in the middle by Presley. Early in the season, FCKC was simply not getting enough good opportunities, just 2 or 3 a game. That number jumped. But still, what they attribute to bad luck part of the time. With this Orlando team coming in, having won 3 consecutive shutouts. Of course, that's with Ashlyn Harris in goal as she's away with the national team. A couple of friendlies coming up with Japan last week. All of the 25 national team players under contract are there as they played Japan on the 2nd and again on the 5th. Ava Bush played in a central mid position last week in the loss at Boston, back in a more comfortable center back, which is the case for Brittany Taylor, who's been a nice addition this year. She certainly has played more at center back in her career in the NWSL. Star at UConn. Part of the NWSL's best 11 the first year back in 2013. Play it wide in the boundary. That's Arlett. Jasmine Spencer defending. Taylor in space. Brittany, one of the defenders who's not afraid to push forward. The ball was tapped back and loose. Edwards involved in that as it goes back to Presley. Orlando getting its first road win in franchise history a week ago at Houston. Didn't play that well in the first half. Tom Sermani able to get his team to play with more energy in the second half, and they got the goal that mattered late. Taylor with pressure. Sends it past Edwards. Shea Groom. Newfield sends it forward. Tiffany McCarty. And the offside flag will go up. Orlando will do that at time. They'll play offside trap. So we'll keep an eye on that over the course of the evening. McCarty has a good reputation in this league as a goal scorer, playing in what's normally Heather O'Reilly's spot, but not necessarily the same in terms of depth and width. She'll make a different type of run. Ball punched forward, nearly back post as Jasmine Spencer was there, but the ball just a bit too far out in front. As Barnhart will put it back in play. Of course, FCKC fans and staff, coaches will all remember Jasmine when she played for Western New York at a game with FCKC when the national team players were away, and she had a beautiful goal in that one. So they know how dangerous she can be, even though she's yet to score over the first 6 games, getting a starting assignment in this one. Arlett switches the field, tries to, but right to a Pride. Spun around, Belanger. Forward middle now. Leanne Sanderson. Look for Mandy Laddish and Desiree Scott to try to put pressure on her. There's Sarah Hagan, who scored 8 goals with FCKC over the past couple of years. One of those players that benefited from the presence of a Cheney and an A-Rod. Good overlapping around Catley. Arlett not in position behind. They zip that pass, gets past Brittany Taylor. And McCarty won't be able to get there in time. Throw in for Orlando. Pride playing here for the very first time. They'll finish the regular season September 24th at Orlando, where the crowds have been great. The team's done awfully well. Same playoff format as in the past. Top 4 will advance. You're talking about a 20-game season, taking a month off for the Olympics, so every game is important. Sanderson can't keep it, taking away Desiree Scott. Shea Groom with pressure from Presley from behind. Scott and a whistle. Shea called for the foul. Now coming forward to discuss it. That's that intensity with Groom that we're used to. Ball sent in front. Boy, Hagan was coming at the back post, which looked a little bit like her one goal earlier this year. A header on goal set up by Alex Morgan. A good target player at 5'10". Hagan again, they try to slide it through and right to Barnhart. So Sarah Hagan playing inspired. Missed last week after spraining an ankle in practice. She had a bad 24 hours. Her car broke down. She cracked her phone and sprained her ankle, but able to come back and play in this one. Part of a great event, Runway of Hope in Central Florida this past week, an event for pediatric cancer and families going through that. She was a cancer survivor herself as a teenager more than 11 years ago. And Apple giving back to families that are going through a similar thing. She's one of the great success stories there. Her family went to every game in college, not here tonight. But they most likely will be the next time Orlando plays home. But this is part of a 4-game road trip for the Pride. Playing with confidence after getting a good win at Houston. Settled by McCarty. Pressure from behind Spencer and a good takeaway. And they play on. There's Sanderson. Laddish slipped just a bit. And Evans plays it wide. Now back to the captain, Edwards. Becky Edwards, part of her claim to fame back in 2014, being traded for Carly Lloyd. Long ball. Hagan is on, but can't handle. There's Sanderson. Tries to get it back to Hagan, but it'll be tapped back to the keeper. And now Orlando gets another shot at it. And spun out, but Barnhart tried to get there and keep it in play. And it'll be a corner kick, the first one of the night for Orlando as Leanne Sanderson heads that way. This will be her 12th corner kick of the season, the 28-year-old from England. Boy, just one of the players you don't want to give her time to be creative. She will find the runner if there's no pressure on her. Desiree Scott comes forward in case they try to play it short, and Sanderson won't be taking it. Ball swung. Had a good play that time by Shea Groom to come forward and to try to clear. That time blocked by Groom again. Tiffany McCarty. Look out, there's Hagan. And they'll come out this way. Collision inside of the box. A couple of players slow to get up. Presley and Tiffany McCarty. Take a look one more time. See McCarty there. Kind of a grab and a twist from behind. And the call going to FC Casey possession. There's Alexa Newfield. Been able to come off the bench 4 times, but getting her first start here tonight as a rookie. There's Taylor double teamed. Hagan and Spencer. And Catley the throw in for Orlando. And the national team stars for Australia. Edwards to Hagan. There's Sanderson. Avra Bush defending. Good run by Belanger. Taken away by Arlett. Belanger will get it back. Maddie Evans on the boundary, and Orlando keeps. So a physical start, 11 and a half minutes into the match. Aubrey Bledsoe has not had much to do at the Pride end. Getting her chance to play with Ashlyn Harris away with the national team. And Bledsoe may be one of those players in the discussion for that next list of possible goalkeepers to get a call with the U.S. national team. It's a great story. 4-year starter at Wake Forest, 3-time All-American. Has a twin sister who was a goalkeeper at Brown. Parents had no idea that it was going to be twins until that second baby appeared. Didn't have an ultrasound, didn't hear a second heartbeat. And Bledsoe getting a chance to play here tonight and seize the opportunity with Harris away. Spencer sends it back. Now Edwards plays it behind. Push forward, Spencer. Taylor heads it forward. Back to the captain. On the ground to Sanderson. Quick release, wanted Hagan. Found Brittany Taylor, who goes back to Nicole Barnhart. Leading the league in saves, which is maybe not the ideal category to be number one if you're a goalkeeper. Shutouts would be good. She's made so many big saves and played so well this year. Laddish to Arlett. Spencer in front. Has McCarty. Catley was there defending, and a throw in Orlando. Catley, one of the players, just always running. Spent a couple of years in Portland. But a national sensation, if you will, in Australia. On the cover of the EA Sports FIFA 16. And Tom Sermani will tell you that he thinks this Australian team this year has a chance to get a medal in the Olympics. He would be somebody with inside expertise on the talent in that country. Hagan tries to get to the loose ball in front. Taylor runs it down. Brittany Taylor, one of the new players on this team, that they've been delighted about her influence so far, and not necessarily used to playing right back as she did at the beginning of the year, playing wherever they needed her, and now in a more natural spot at center back. It's Desiree Scott. Sends it past Edwards, Mandy Laddish. Belanger with a collision that time with Katie Bowen. One of the players that it's just been very comfortable for her, watching her try to get in up to game speed, and she finished her college work down at North Carolina and joined this team late. And so from a conditioning standpoint, she didn't get all of the works that the gals here were getting. There's McCarty looking for help in the middle. Shea Groom was there. Ball still alive. McCarty triple teamed. And it'll be a goal kick for Aubrey Bledsoe on loan from a Danish club. Starting for the first time this year. Presley to Spencer, who can't get it to Catley. Catley, one of the dangerous players on crosses. Finally releases off the head of Arlett. Sanderson can't control. Laddish sends it back to Taylor. Desiree Scott is one of the veterans who really picked back up where she left off, having played earlier in Kansas City. And with national team players away, you lose a veteran voice, but they've really been able to continue on. Good work ethic. Becky and O'Reilly left on Friday. Another throw in. Hagan bracketed. Laddish back to Taylor. Cardi keeps it in. Catley defending. Groom with pressure from Presley, and Orlando will get it back. 18th minute, we're scoreless here. Game number 7. Year number 4 in the National Women's Soccer League. The assistant coaches with Orlando were raving about the condition of the field as they warmed up a couple of hours ago. It's a terrific playing surface. Arlett to Laddish. Back to Taylor in the center circle. That's Leanne Sanderson. Shea Groom scored a goal early in the season. That's the only one in the run of play. Averbush, the other on a penalty kick. FC Casey has missed a couple of those this year. Arlett weaving through Newfield. Ball blasted. Not a lot of authority on that one. Handled easily by the keeper, Bledsoe. Hagan heads it towards Sanderson. Edwards keeps it in play. Catley now. Hagan, pressure from Averbush from behind. Taken away. Tiffany McCarty. Laddish in space. Has Shea Groom trying to fill up top. Now making a move to the middle of the 18. Pride survive that threat by FC Casey. McCarty from behind, taken away by the destroyer, Desiree Scott. Bledsoe will come forward, and a whistle will stop play. Presley with a booming left kick, a left foot, but sent too far up in front beyond Wideman. Throw in FC Casey. The benches moved this year from last, so on the far side of the field they will deal with looking into the sun as it sets here on the press box side, being the west side. The bench and players will deal with that through the end of the first half. Second half won't be a factor. No wind to speak of here. And across town, the U.S. men's national team playing Bolivia in a friendly at Sporting Kansas City's Children's Mercy Park. Sarah Hagan may have checked out of the match. Christina Birkenroad is now on the field for Orlando. Just 21 minutes into the match. Alex Arlett can't get there in time. Steph Catlett, the throw-in. So Sarah Hagan, in a return to Kansas City, is out 21 minutes in. Sanderson off FCKC. Quick throw in. Steph Catley. Belanger. Nice cutback. Left footed. Back post intent. Good idea. Wideman was there, but too far out in front. Well, expansion teams in this league way different from, say, Major League Baseball in 1969 when you had Royals, Expos, Padres, Seattle Pilots. They want these teams to be able to have a chance to win. And there's Birkenroad, who just entered the game with a chance, but FCKC will come right back. But they want teams now that are expansion teams to have a chance to be able to compete right away, and the Pride have done that. Terrific start at 4-2. This part of their 4-game road trip, and Barnhart kicks that out well over top of Arlett. Good reach in by McCarty, who keeps it in play. Birkenroad pressuring down to the corner. A long ball. Presley will try to run it down. Now lets it go out. There's indecision there initially. Newfield throwing it in for FCKC. Shaker Room colliding with Presley. And Pride getting it back. Newfield on Edwards, who plays it wide. Tony Presley played with Washington before going to Western New York and Houston. This is her 4th team in the NWSL. Spent a lot of time in the middle of the field. A lot of action inside the 18-yard boxes. Barnhart to Avra Bush. Spencer from behind. And given to the Pride. There's Sanderson. Wanted Spencer, but FCKC did a nice job getting in the middle of that. Headed wide, Monica. Belanger. Erica Timrack there for FCKC. Timrack's had a little bit of trouble getting traction this year. Had a terrific preseason going and broke a wrist. And we look at Belanger and Timrack on the boundary. Laddish will take it back left now. Edwards for Orlando to Des Scott. A good challenge leaving her feet, Maddie Evans. Presley has Catley, goes that way. Space to close quickly. Birkenroad with pressure all the way back to the keeper. Arlett in space, has McCarty in front. And the blue shirts have done a nice job closing quickly, defending. Christina Birkenroad has not been with Orlando for long. Might get a good chance to play here quickly. Give and go from Catley. Birkenroad has Jasmine Spencer to her right. And a blast off Barnhart. Ball will stay in play. Barney able to save that one. On a booming shot. Whitteman was there for Orlando to strike it well. Edwards Newfield gets it back. Taken by Presley. Leanne Sanderson has Presley in front. Averbush, good position that time to screen Spencer, who doesn't get to the ball. Hands on the back. Catley getting tangled up, and now Tiffany McCarty will get called for the foul. Sanderson will set it up from there. The only FCKC player in the way is Shea Groom. Sanderson has Whitteman just outside of the 18-yard box. Circling back, goes down, and a foul will be called there. Orlando has 7 goals this year, just 2 for FCKC by comparison. Presley, Birken Road, couple of the options inside the 18-yard box, joined by Monica. Catley to put it in play. Far post, and Birken Road can't get there because it's intercepted, taken by the goalkeeper, Nicole Barnhart. Laddish with a long ball ahead. Shea Groom, and a tackle from behind. And Shea nearly gets tripped but keeps her feet. Groom able to get through the double team. Maddie Evans with good defensive effort. They let him play on. Shot by Timrack, well over top. Goal kick, Orlando. We are scoreless in the 30th minute here. Game number 7. The two-time defending champs, 0-4-2. The effort's been good. There's been some system changes. They started the year with 2 forwards up top and went back to the more traditional for Vlatko Andonovski, the 4-2-3-1. 5 midfielders, 1 striker up top. And it's not for a lack of effort, the lack of results. Sarah Hagan coming out of the match early, the former FCKC player, replaced by Christina Birkenrode. We will get a report at halftime on her status. Laddish, Edwards behind to Brittany Taylor. Flips it. Scott didn't get much with her head. Shea Groom goes down hard. Presley was there. And they play on. Groom is furious with the no call. Laddish gets tangled up with Sanderson. Off Laddish, throw in Orlando. Take a look at the physical mismatch, the size there. Presley with the left forearm shimmer, sending Groom down, and they played on. Picked up, handled easily by Nicole Barnhart. 32nd minute. Game 7 of 20. Taylor has Tiffany McCarty. That's Steph Catley, who's able to go down and kick that ball out of play and make FCKC set it up off the throw-in. Alex Arlett will handle it. The rookie from LSU. Cardi sends it over top of Groom. Headed forward by Scott. Sanderson. Whitteman. Ahead to Sanderson. Mandy Laddish runs it down. We'll get it back to Averbush. Yael has really been a versatile player for FCKC in her time. Handling different assignments, taking free kicks, penalty kicks. Technically, one of the most impressive players around with her ball skills. And a booming right foot. And she plays it long. The top of the 18, but Presley is there in the way of McCarty. Birkenroad tries to send it through to Spencer, but Brittany Taylor there for FCKC. Now Sanderson. Katie Rhodes. Newfield went down briefly. Whitteman cuts back. Bowen defending it. Pressure from behind with Erica Timrak, who showed good work rate here tonight. Settled by Groom. She'll switch the field, bring it right. That ball skipped on McCarty a little bit, too far out in front. Catley will go back in the middle to Tony Presley. Long kick, wanted Sanderson. Barney will reach out and keep that in play. It took till the 81st minute to get a pride goal at Houston. And buckle down to the end and hold on to a third consecutive shutout. Ashlyn Harris away with the national team. Aubrey Bledsoe, for the most part, unchallenged here tonight in goal for Orlando. Cardi unable to keep the ball in play. Pride will throw it in. There's Birkenroad. First sub of the match, Newfield. Behind Groom had Timrak. Bledsoe comes aggressively off her line near the top of the 18. Wanted Edwards. Laddish was there. Nice job by Maddie Evans going up high. Laddish gets past Edwards, and Laddish will skip it out. Well past the left post. And a goal kick for Orlando. Talk about her and having an identical twin. And was also a goalkeeper in college, but growing up there was that dilemma. You got one keeper on the team if you're going to be on the same team. And she played a lot of striker. Didn't always play on the same club. Katie Bowen sent that ball through to no one. Catley will watch it go out. Quickly throw it into Presley. And Bledsoe, one of the valuable backup players that teams want to have. That what happens if you don't have your regular keeper? She wants to prove to everybody that she can play in this league at this level and play very well. There's Spencer. Back to Evans. Easily handled by McCarty. Timrak with a nice chip around. Newfield sends it forward. Shea Groom is on. Belanger defending from behind. Shea looks for help, has Timrak. And taken away by Belanger. Good work by the Canadian national. Taylor for Timrack. Belanger there. They'll head it out. FCKC will throw it in on the far side of the field. Nice crowd here tonight. Expected to be over 2,000. Played the first game of the year at home at Children's Mercy Park, home of Sporting Kansas City. They'll play there one more time this year, but for the most part, this is the home field for the second year. Des Scott with a blast over top. Never on frame, but struck it well. Scott's been one of the players that's really helped build that defensive wall in back for FCKC. Another look at her putting it up on a tee and sending it well over top. Shea Groom is her usual condition of being worked up, and especially after that collision, being shoved down by Presley with no call. She had to sit for a game after getting a yellow and then another. After being asked nicely, please be careful at the start of the second half. Dial it back just a bit, but it's hard for Shea to do. Up Texas A&M go to the College Cup for the very first time. 12th overall pick a year ago. Comes to most fouls committed by FCKC. Shea is always going to be near the top. Player that had some success with the U.S. under-23s. Bledsoe with Groom trying to put some heat on her. Evans back to Presley. Birkenroad there, but Arlett hustling. Spencer not tall enough to get that one. Katie Bowen, the rookie from North Carolina. Sanderson taken away. Mandy Laddish back in a spot that's a little deeper than we saw her earlier in the year, or where you might see the retired Jen Biskowski, who's been out a couple of games, starts physical therapy school next week. After setting all kinds of records for the team and in league history with her string of starts. Bledsoe comes over to handle that in the 41st minute of a scoreless match. FCKC with 3 shots compared to 2 for the Pride. None have found the back of the net. It's Presley in space, has Catley way out in front. Arlett there defending, headed forward, Desiree Scott. Birkenroad. McCarty. Catley from behind, now marking in front to Scott. Looks for options. She had Bowen asking for the ball, now goes to the right. Finds the Pride. Edwards plays it back. Presley. Now McCarty. Shea Groom to her left. McCarty rips it over top. Just buzzing the crossbar over top. And a goal kick, Orlando. Take a look at another ball well struck, not on frame. McCarty sending it over, no damage done. Tom Sermani came in knowing what a dangerous FCKC team they would have to deal with here. Not fooled at all by the 0-4-2, knowing that they were going to get a good effort out of an established organization. At the same time, FCKC knew that Sermani's team would be disciplined, organized, motivated. And for a first year to be able to put all this together so quickly, they've done awfully well at 4-2. The ball is ruled out. McCarty unhappy with that. And a throw in now with Presley releasing. Past Spencer and beyond Brittany Taylor. She'll leave it for Alex Arlett. Cardi's been very active in her first start with FCKC. There's Shea Groom. Doesn't have numbers. Has Timrack in front. Really didn't have an angle to get her the ball, even though Timrack was asking for it. There's Katie Bowen. And neither team has really been able to create a great deal of space. FCKC, in many cases on the attack, has had a cluster of blue shirts to get in the way. The Pride coming off back-to-back-to-back shutout wins. Taylor to Bowen on the New Zealand national team. Talked about Taylor being willing to move forward. So many players that end up on that back line, center back or in one of the corners, forwards at some point. Scott wanted Arlett. Catlett can't get it. One additional minute will be added here. McCarty. She had Shea Groom on a cut, running right toward the goal, but Bledsoe was there before Groom could get to it. Just a minute added. And a knockdown by Desiree Scott right in front of the official, and she lets them play on. Now we've seen a physical game. Whitteman there, taken by Avra Bush. Laddish, now Timrack. Newfield, back to Laddish, and Scott. Not a great deal of urgency, not a lot of time as the first half approaches the end. 4-2, the shots advantage for the home team. But like so many games so far, goals hard to come by, and no goal for either team as we go to halftime. One storyline beyond the physical play was the early exit of the starter, Sarah Hagan, who spent the last couple of years with FC Kansas City. Christina Birkenrode was an early sub. We're going to go ahead and take a break here as we regroup for the second half. We'll see you in about 10-15 minutes here from Swope Soccer Village.
Blues fans, the IROC Foundation, which means Imagine Getting Rid of Cancer, is a non-profit organization founded in 2009. The IROC Foundation was formed to bring awareness to Ewing sarcoma, to save lives, empower people, to find cures, and to help people and organizations in a variety of ways as they battle cancer. We would like to thank Oberlin Park Auto Group, Fiat, Mazda, and Volvo for their 12th player program in conjunction with the Blues. Tonight's game is Miss Taylor Porter. Taylor was 14 when she was diagnosed with acute lymphocytic leukemia, or ALL, in October of 2010. She went through 2.5 years of chemotherapy and suffered various side effects, including a stroke and 2 seizures. She completed treatment in February of 2013 and is considered to have no evidence of the disease. She's currently attending Missouri Western State University in St. Joseph, Missouri, where she is studying psychology with a minor in childhood studies. She plans to be a child life specialist at Children's Mercy Hospital, working with pediatric oncology patients. Taylor, we wish you the best, and we know that you'll make a fabulous child life specialist after you graduate. Now let's send it down to FC Kansas City's Scott Levinson, who has an statistics.
And we're back ready for the second half of NWSL Soccer, FC Kansas City against Orlando. We are scoreless after 45 minutes. FCKC leads in shots 5-2. Both have had 2 shots on goal. A couple of saves for Nicole Barnhart, one for Aubrey Bledsoe, filling in for Ashlyn Harris, who's away with the national team, same as Alex Morgan, Becky Sauerbrunn, and Heather O'Reilly. The one sub used so far was Christina Birkenrode coming in early for Sarah Hagan, who played the last couple of years in Kansas City. You know, the best we can tell, it was perhaps a fatigue or a heat issue. She is back with the team at the end of the bench and appears to be fine. Didn't seem to be an injury. She could have been worked up. It was warm at the beginning. The fact it was against her old team may have been a combination of things, but she appears to be just fine. But that is the one first half sub to mention. No cards were called in the first half, although each team probably would try to make a case, with Tony Presley knocking down Shea Groom, and it was a play on. FCKC really has not been able to take advantage of a heavy home schedule at the beginning of the season. That shot just over top, landing in the net. Bledsoe will put it back in play as I look at Desiree Scott sending it right side Alex Arlett with Catley there. And a difficult angle challenged, but well struck. The 6th shot for FCKC. But 5 out of the first 7 games at home. And to this point, FCKC not able to get 3 points for a victory. After this one, they're going to be away for a while. 4 out of 5 away from home, 6 out of 8. They don't play again until June 11th at Sky Blue in a couple of Saturdays from now. Pride switched the field. Belanger on the ground, back to her. Pressure from Erica Timrak, headed by Laddish. Shea Groom will circle back and look for help. She has it with Bowen on the left side. Newfield won't be able to run that one down. Bledsoe sends it. Not controlled by Scott. Belanger will switch it to Presley. Getting her 2nd consecutive start for Orlando. Pride throw in. Steph Catley far side. In front of the Pride bench. Kaylin Kyle certainly a second half sub possibility for the Pride. She started the first 6 matches for Orlando. Well, Jasmine Spencer busy in the back from behind. Got to get Brittany Taylor to rush it. And she can't find Shea Groom. Talked about FCKC playing all the games at home. This is part of a 4-game road stretch for Orlando. It started with that win at Houston 8 days ago. Kristen Edmonds with a goal, assisted by Sanderson. Edmonds left that one late with a hip injury here tonight, but not available. Bowen to Scott. Bowen had space on the left side. Now a giveaway. Sanderson, the quick outlet. Whitteman tries to run it down. Boy, she was such a good player at Cal Berkeley. One of the college players who made such good runs. Averbush going up tall. But Orlando will keep it that in. Arlett, defensive. Sanderson will have to hustle to get that one back. Captain Edwards kicks it out. Throwing FCKC. But Whitteman had one of those senior years at Cal Berkeley where she had at least a start at 7 different positions her last year. One of the players that just capable of making great runs. Real versatility. Monica. Bledsoe behind, plays it to Presley, chested, controlled. Down goes McCarty. There comes Arlett in a hurry. And FCKC cannot do anything with the possession. Addie Evans. Monica. Edwards. Plays it wide. Belanger. Whitteman. Katie Bowen aggressive that time, leaving her feet. A very short period of time. The athletic ability, the confidence, the completeness of her game evident in the top pick for FCKC, one of 3 draft picks, rookies starting here tonight. Game condition will come, not there yet. That's Arlett. Tried to slide it to McCarty. Laddish on a restart. Back to Averbush. One of only 2 to score for FCKC this year on a penalty kick at Houston. Aggressive play that time with Bledsoe coming to the edge of the 18. Shea Groom with a presence inside the box. There's Timrack. Spins and a whistle. Foul called on Edwards. Becky with a good career. You see that grab, and Erica spun around. Edwards, a 2-time champ in the WPS, is so disruptive. And the other team is trying to attack. Talk about goal of the year candidates. Ava Bush is always going to be in the conversation. She'll try blasting it through. Off Sanderson and in! Yael Averbush scoring for the 2nd time this year on a free kick. Pounding it through, redirected off Sanderson, and Bledsoe was frozen. Nothing she could do. FCKC scoring for the first time since that loss at Houston. And again, it's Averbush getting her 2nd goal of the season. And you defend with 11 and you attack with 11. The center back Averbush able to get a much-needed goal for FCKC. Good tempo now. Timrack, Alex Arlett has Newfield in the box. There's Newfield. She blasted over top. So offensive-minded approach here in the second half. Aggressive going forward. And FCKC able to get a goal in the 53rd minute and take a lead. And we have seen a good showing effort-wise, if nothing else, from the rookies starting here tonight. Handball off Evans. They play on. Scott back to Timrack through traffic to Mandy Laddish. Has Arlett right. Switch the field, come back to Desiree Scott. Wants Katie Bowen, goes that way. Plays it for McCarty, headed out. Laddish. Settled by Belanger. Shea Groom from behind. Rushing the pass. And a counter with Sanderson on the right side. Birken Road. Really couldn't get out of the traffic jam there. There's Whitteman. Sends it left side. Headed out by Arlett. Edwards tries to pull the trigger. Not a lot on it. Easily wrapped up by Barnhart. Now there's life in the building now, if you will. 56th minute. It was 3 minutes ago. FCKC got a goal. Now Timrack runs that one down. Monica was there defensively. Newfield pulls the trigger and over top. Now they've shot toward the goal a bunch, and a lot of those with too much elevation. Head-to-head, Orlando had advantages over FCKC coming into the match with 8 more shots, 5 more shots on goal, 5 more goals. But tonight, the hometown Blues had the only goal of the evening, 53rd minute. Birken Road. Spencer will run it down in front of Brittany Taylor. Ball rolls through. Nicole Barnhart will do her thing from there. Brittany Taylor so aggressive in her tackles and able to go forward. Be part of that offensive attack. Monica plays it back to Bledsoe. We've talked about all the players who aren't here this year, aren't here this night with Heyo and Sauerbrunn on national team duty. 2 friendlies with Japan coming up next week. Rematch of World Cup finals. 2 rosters that look so different from a year ago. Across in the middle, headed out by Averbush. Getting it done at both ends. There's Edwards. Birkenroad. Double teamed in the corner. Arlett there. And a corner kick. Leanne Sanderson will head that way. Presley, one of the targets inside the 18. 5'10", maybe 5'11". Birkenroad in there. Edwards as well. One player inside the 6 next to Barnhart is Whitteman. Try to play it to feed Presley. Was the closest to it. But Laddish will come out of there on a quick counter for FCKC. As Bowen to the left, goes to Groom in the middle. Still Shea Groom. And a whiff by Monica. FCKC, Timrak blasting it, stopped by Bledsoe, who wraps it up. A good counter for FCKC. A nice job by Bledsoe to handle that bullet. Whitteman. Headed by Spencer. Now McCarty. Edwards defending, double team. Keeps possession. And a throw in, FCKC, 59th minute. One thing FCKC doesn't have this year is somebody who's a defensive stopper to be able to come off the bench, that sub where you're protecting that lead late. Could be a defensive sub, but there's not necessarily that player in particular this year. At least not yet. Presley with a long ball played right to Taylor. Now back to FCKC. Arlett. Averbush back to Alex. That's Andy Laddish. Looks in Newfield. And McCarty has been very busy on the ball here tonight. Taking advantage of her chance to get a start. And Heather O'Reilly's spot, although not identical necessarily in position on the field or style of play and the way she attacks. Penetrating runs. Scott loses her feet. Belanger switches it to Steph Catley. And Sanderson. And FCKC's done a pretty good job with pressure on Sanderson, not allowing her to create and find that open teammate. Newfield headed to Timrak. He's played with good energy here tonight. Back in the starting lineup. Sliding it through there, Shea Groom. Flag went up. We'll call her offside. Very close. Some would argue even is on. But a good through ball. And hard to tell from that angle, but Gray Groom very aggressive going forward toward the goal, and Bledsoe as well. 62nd minute now. FCKC has 3 subs available, 2 for Orlando after using 1 early, with Birkenroad replacing Sarah Hagan. Hagan with a goal earlier this year, assisted by Alex Morgan. Leads the team with a couple of goals and an assist. Same numbers as Leanne Sanderson. Sanderson at the edge of the 18. That's Taylor defending. New field to clear. Sends it towards Shea Groom, but Tony Presley will run it down for Orlando. To Monica. With space in front, and she'll use it. And Belanger goes to Birkenroad. And a give to Kansas City. Edwards takes Newfield down. Now Sanderson goes down after the collision with Laddish, who will be called for the foul. Laddish has played in different spots on the field this year. Maybe moving back to more of her strength here tonight. Carrying the ball, winning tackles. In a position on the field really to intercept balls more than play that number 10, which Newfield is occupying tonight. Sanderson will handle the kick. Has Presley one of the options at the edge of the 18 with Birkenroad. Monica as well. She blasts it right to Nicole Barnhart. The edge of the 6. Waves her teammates back. And it was a free kick from Avra Bush that ricocheted off Sanderson and froze the keeper Bledsoe, who had nothing to say about it. There's nothing she could do. Desiree Scott. And mishit toward Katie Bowen. And Sanderson will check out for Orlando.
Substitution.
Jamia Fields
Orlando Pride now entering the game.
is in for Orlando.
Jamia Fields replacing number 10, Leanne Sanderson.
22-year-old Fields has played just 14 minutes total this year, but very fast player, claim to fame, getting the game-winning goal in the National College Cup Finals, championship game, won by Florida State. And it's not a bad claim to fame to have. Fields will attack from the right side as they change the formation a bit. Sanderson would be more of a central midfielder. Jamia this time up top on the right. And the second sub used so far by Tom Sermani. Orlando coach well aware of FCKC and what Vlad Koyandanovsky's been able to do here the last couple of years, winning championships. And really in the history of the league, it's been a solid team from top to bottom, undergoing great change. Amy Rodriguez, Sydney LaRue pregnancies altered things dramatically. Rodriguez intends to play next year. Long ball on a skip. Boy, Bledsoe had to go up high and get that ball. Had some hump on it, but handled it nicely. She's done a nice job in goal for Orlando, playing for the first time. Laddish to Bowen. This clip from Fields. Now 2 players go down. Newfield and Evans. Take a look at the run with collision there from behind. Just a enough of a clip to spin her down. And Ava Bush, who scored in the 53rd minute, will try it again a little bit further out. Plays it short to Newfield. Presley takes it away. And right back, Mandy Laddish for FCKC. Desiree Scott with patience. Doesn't rush it. Laddish. Edwards behind. Harlett to McCarty. Left-footed shot redirected and just wide. Another good opportunity in close. Shea Groom getting ahead on it. So we have seen some scoring chances here. There's McCarty with a left foot. Groom just beyond that right post. Timrak bump once and again. Fields with fresh legs as the second half sub for the Pride. Scott back to Barnhart. And now Averbush. 2 goals on the year, leads that category for FCKC. Belanger back to Monica, the Brazilian. Birkenroad got a foot on it. Simply allowed Arlett to run it down and find McCarty. 69th minute. Averbush, one of the many players in this league from North Carolina, the storied Tar Heel program. Heather O'Reilly would fall in that category as well. Jasmine Spencer has it taken away. Nice job, even though Pride will get it back and reset. Edwards. Ball taken out of danger, at least for the moment. Headed by Brittany Taylor. Belanger gets it to her left foot, cut back to the middle. And a right-footed shot is wide. And a goal kick, FCKC. Edwards will check out for the Pride as another substitution is used, and Kaylin Kyle comes in for the first time in the 70th minute. After starting the first 6 games, she will come in off the bench. Terrific career with the Canadian national team. What are the players? You know she's going to win the 50-50. She's going to attack that second line, and Orlando needs a goal, and she has 20-plus minutes to try to do that. Kyle, a 27-year-old, aggressive player. Normally does her damage in the central midfield. Saw her in the quarterfinals of World Cup 2015. She comes in and gets involved in a collision the first minute. FCKC attacking, wanted Timrak. Now McCarty the follow. Was headed by Monica and out. Should be a corner kick opportunity for FCKC. Timrak goes that way. Heather
Elder O'Reilly takes many of these for FCKC. Floats it right to Bledsoe with blue shirts everywhere. And FCKC was very conservative that time. Fear might have been the ball pinballs out and they get a quick counter with numbers. And the white shirts did not pack it in around the 6-yard box. Blues playing with the lead here in the 72nd minute. Trying to win for the first time this season, the 7th game. Kyle Averbush with the header and the goal. That's Timrack. And Spencer wanted to head the other way. Some Mandy Laddish go down on the foul. And FCKC will take their time. It's Brittany Taylor on the ball. Shea Groom is the closest to the edge of the 18, and a blasting long kick. Skips by the left post. Picked up quickly by Bledsoe. Orlando, 18-plus minutes to play here in the second. Playing from behind. The goal they scored against Houston a week ago came in the 81st minute from a player not available tonight. Kristen Edmonds still out with that hip pointer. Averbush sending it over top. Kyle there heading. Throw in FCKC. Katie Bowen there. Jamia Fields. Pass Whitteman. Kyle to Presley. And they switch it and go left. Catley on the left side. Ball still available. Whitteman there. And kicked out by Bowen. He clears it, gives the defense a chance to get settled. And FCKC will use the time here for a substitution. Caroline Castor, the star at University of Kansas, will check in. And Tiffany McCarty, who put in a good day's work. Get a nice hand as she comes off. And Castor will finish the last 15 minutes.
Kansas City now entering the game, number 23, Caroline Castor, replacing number 20, Tiffany McCarty.
Headed by Scott. Fields in traffic. And kicked out by Averbush. Belanger, the throw in. Scott backing up. Loses her angle defending. Blasted by Catley right to Barnhart. It goes down to two knees. Smothers the ball, now rolls it out. In the 76th minute. FCKC trying to win for the first time this year. Tamarack with a nice move. Working the ball around Kyle. Second half sub is Laddish. And Arlett. Chipped over Castor. Room was in the area. Evans sends it forward. And now Mandy Laddish. Lee Summit High School in Kansas City, the south and east of town. Played collegiately at Notre Dame. Ball chipped to Bowen. Fields is there in the corner defending. And Tamrack has a wide open look at it. Cuts back, blasted, and in! How about 2 goals on the night? Timrack had a wide open look at it, but waited, and it worked out beautifully. Look at Erica one more time, the Rookie of the Year from 2013, ripping it. Shea Groom sticking a foot up, and it's 2-0. FC Kansas City leads it in the 77th minute. I think there was some indecision there momentarily if Groom got a piece of that or not. The result either way was the same.
FC Kansas City goal scored by number 15, Erica Timrack.
Yeah, Timrack, that ball was clean off the foot into the net. Groom extended to try to get there, but Timrack gives FCKC what would appear to be a commanding lead. Timrack's first goal of the season. Erica had a couple of games earlier this year where she did not start, but in a position where they really needed her to step up her game tonight, and she has done that. She's played hard, and she's delivered a goal to make it a 2-0 advantage. Ball Fields was blasted off the rookie Bowen. And the ref reaching for a card, and Des Scott will get it. Desiree Scott with a booking in the 79th minute, getting a yellow. And Alexa Newfield trying to settle her down. But what they don't want to do is give up a goal at this point.
Has been issued to FC Kansas City's number 3, Scott, in the 79th minute.
Steph Catley will swing it from there, the lefty. All of her teammates to the left. Pretty much a clean look at it. Newfield and Scott, the wall in front. Catley chips it, and Barnhart goes to get it. Kaylin Kyle was working toward the back post, but Barnhart able to handle that with ease. Now FCKC with tempo the other way. Newfield in front. Give it back to Orlando. And that will not find Jamia Fields. Scott will circle back, and FCKC in a spot to chew up some time here. Work the clock toward Castor. Belanger plays it back to Bledsoe. And it'll be a little bit deceptive to see that if 2 is the final tally for FCKC, Bledsoe's done a pretty good job in goal.
Everyone in attendance tonight will win a free small one-topping pizza from Domino's.
11-5, the shots advantage, FCKC. After having a 5-2 advantage in the first half. So 6-3 the second half advantage. An offensive-minded approach, playing forward. There's Timrack again. Fields able to run by Bowen. Can't get there the second time either. Spencer bumped. Labonta will check in for FCKC. Newfield out for the first time. There's Shea Groom out in front. Presley from behind. Taken down to the box, and Shea's grabbing her left ankle. And not getting up. Well, the groom is able to limp back into action, but you see the physical mismatch between the two, and at least the second time there's been contact between those two players. It's hard to tell from that it was the left ankle, but that's what Shea initially grabbed. 82nd minute. The home team in desperate need of points, having only earned a couple so far with draws on the young season. Could go to 5 points with a win here tonight before getting an extra week off and then beginning a heavy road run in the schedule like Orlando is facing now. There's Belanger, Timrak, the pressure, barking instructions to teammates, headed by Monica. Katie Bowen and Timrak. And now the whistle comes. Ball clearly out. Belanger for Orlando. 83rd minute. Pride down 2. They have used their 3 subs. Birkenrode came early after Sarah Hagan checked out. Fields and Kyle in the second half. Caroline Castor to run it down with a good burst, getting tangled up with Presley. Has Laddish at the edge of the 18 and just punches it over the top on the right side. Well, that's some of the energy that we see Caroline Castor bring off the bench late in games, and it'll set up another corner kick handled by Erica Timrak. So Presley not able to keep up with the speed, and just a one-time rip from Laddish. Really didn't have a chance to settle that. It's one of those where you pull the trigger, but often Pride players, so here comes the corner. Pooches it, nicely done in front, but Presley there with a header. Laddish can't get her feet set in time to blast another shot. FCKC will throw it in the 85th minute. Katie Bowen close to getting her first professional win in her 3rd game and 2nd start. Looking right at home at left back, a position she'll play with the New Zealand national team in an Olympic year. Bledsoe will try to unload it quickly as we see Mandy Laddish run out. Effort has never been an issue with this team. Not getting a result. Effort's been good. Enthusiasm, the energy that the coaches have seen so far.
The Domino's Miracle Minutes have expired. Sorry, Blues fans. Hopefully we'll hit the pizza jackpot next game.
Steph Catley wanted to throw it in quickly, looks for help. 86th minute. As Kyle back to her in the corner, double teamed. And they will try it again. 3 draft picks in starting roles for FCKC. Bowen, Arlett, Newfield.
Tonight's attendance for FC Kansas City and Orlando, 3,104 fans. Thank you.
3,104 fans here tonight, which is beyond capacity. Nice turnout. Fans on the hill, the north end of the field, and wrapped all the way around this beautiful playing surface, Swope Soccer Village. It's a tall task at this point for Orlando. Down 2, The 87th minute. But FCKC is pushing bodies back to defend. Bush escorting it on a second hop back to Barnhart. Shea Groom, the only Blues player on the offensive side of the field. There's Timrack. Beyond Laddish. Presley to Catley. Des Scott. Shea Groom appears to be fine after that latest collision with Presley. Bowen sends it across. And to the Pride, that's Kyle, now Presley. Went through Evans before that. France Silva will be the next sub for FCKC.
Substitution on the field for FC Kansas City. Now entering the game, number 11, Francis Silva, replacing number 7, Mandy Laddish.
And Laddish, who had a good night's work. And there's Erica Timrack taken down from behind by Belanger. And she will get a card, a second booking. Desiree Scott got the first. Timrack able to get out in front. Belanger, one of those players that a natural forward, but so good defending, going back. Did not have an angle on Timrack. Took her down from behind. Outside of the 18.
Has been issued to Orlando number 9, Belanger, in the 88th minute.
So for the first meeting ever between these two teams, they absolutely got after each other. And they finish the regular season head-to-head in Orlando, September 24th. Game number 20. 90th minute. Bush lines up as if to take it, but Silva back there as well. Bush does spin it over top, and a goal kick, Bledsoe. He's so good bending it. It is fun to watch her ball tricks. Fields, Scott defending. Switching Fields now to Presley. Booming left kick, left-footed kick. We've seen that over the course of the night. Presley's an imposing defensive figure in back. And has played well on her second start in consecutive weeks. There's Groom at the 90th minute. Silva. Timrack, heel flip.
The official has indicated there'll be a minimum of 3 minutes of added time in the half.
3 minutes stoppage time. 2 balls end up on the field. Overall, Bledsoe's performance is a positive one in goal. Foul in the air. And as usual, Shea Groom has taken a beating in this one. She does not shy away from contact. Kester kicked it out. Pride with roughly 2 minutes to score twice. Something they've been unable to do in 90 plus. Now losing Sarah Hagan wasn't the greatest thing for them early. She was very, very active. Castor will get to the corner. Monica defending for the Pride. The ball will come out to Orlando. Ball gets away from Whitteman. She will throw it in. And a second time. Whitteman, one of the many young promising players in this league, just 22. Good speed, that's obvious. Good versatility, just the fact she was able to do so many different things in college. Booming kick that time by Taylor. And that will end it. Finally, in the 7th game of the season, the first win of the year for the two-time defending NWSL champions in front of a beautiful crowd of more than 3,100 that enjoyed nearly all of it. Loving the result as FCKC wins for the first time. In the 53rd minute, that's going to be the game-winning goal. Yael Averbush scoring for the second time this year. Then Erica Timrak in the 77th minute to make it a 2-goal advantage, and too much for the Pride to be able to come back from it. FCKC will get a week off before they hit kind of a grueling part of the schedule, playing 4 out of the next 5 away. They'll play Saturday, June 11th at Sky Blue. But finally, Kansas City able to get a victory. Now 1-4-2 with 5 points on the season for now, passing Boston into the 9th position in the table. For Brad Zimmerman and our entire broadcast crew from Swope Soccer Village, I'm Dave Stewart. Good night from Kansas City.